Hello, I'm happy to present my Module 6, reflecting on my e-portfolio. So let me present here what I've done. I've chosen 4 of my favorite works from this course, and I'll share what I've done with them, what they are, why they're special to me. There's this video, there's this PowerPoint presentation, and there's also a Word document that accompanies all of this that I'll talk more about at the end. First off, the first work I'd like to talk about is the homework infographic. So let me kind of present what I've done here with this. So what it is, it's basically an infographic in order to communicate to parents and students what is expected out of them or what can be done in order to build success for student learning. And I've really tried to put it colorful and put a lot of pictures and keep it simple so it's very accessible and that parents and students will want to have a look at it. Something I've changed with it at the end here, I've included my contact information as well as a QR code for a video I made in order to help out parents navigate through Teams. So we can see what it looks like right here. You can go ahead and watch it if you want later on. All right, and next up, we have my math lesson plan. So my math lesson plan is right here. It's basically a task regarding sine functions for grade 12 students. And it's very well detailed with a lot of variety of different activities. And something new that I changed for this final version is I included a special quick review video. So students will actually be able to go on the internet and see me present the simple standard sine function here. All right. So you can have a look at that later if you want. All the links are going to be in the PowerPoint. If you just click on it. If you can't click on it, you can always use the embedded files here on the side. And next up for Module 2, I selected create your own PowerPoint adventure. So let's go have a look at that. It's right here. It's a little adventure where students can click on objects in the PowerPoint to navigate through what's happening. And the goal of this PowerPoint is to get students to learn how to make one of these, how to make a PowerPoint with hyperlinks that link to the internet, and how to create QR codes as well. And there's links to all of that in this PowerPoint. And the idea is to link that with the algebra. So they have to make an algebra kind of PowerPoint that leads students to the right answers. It's a team project as well. So there we go. And lastly, my vision. So this here, it's a YouTube video in my channel that I've made. And it's quite a lengthy one. And something that I've changed here is I've added a description of where to get more information if you want to learn how to use Microsoft Whiteboard, which is similar to what I'm talking about here. Well, there's a description right here that you can click. And as well, during the video, there's a prompt here that pops up at the top. So this is new, and this is new here, so that people have a better idea of what I'm talking about with Microsoft Whiteboard. By the way, for this here, I don't know if I mentioned, but there's QR codes that I put in as well, so it's more accessible. So these are my 4 selected choice works, and if you want to see more details for them, you can click on justifications right here. And this is where I explain in detail why I've chosen these works. So you can click on the arrows here in the document to get an understanding of why it's special and why I believe I have mastered the mindset. And there is one, of course, for each of these. So the changes that I've done are also included here as well. All right. And lastly, I have some notable mentions. So my notable mentions here, I have 3. First of all, the inter-school geocaching activity I thought was really cool. because it combines many different ideas. I love geocaching as well. And it's something between schools, which is kind of a novel concept I'd like to try one day. I also have the game I created in Python using what I've learned myself through self-learning coding through YouTube tutorials. And I have a video here that where students can actually play the game inside here and get rewards in forms of medals and whatnot after they've played the game. So I thought that was really, really cool. Since I'm using something that I've learned myself, not related specifically to this course. And finally, I have an archive as well of all the works that I've done so far that I've organized here in 3 sections. Best of keepers. So these are all the applications or websites or whatnot that we've seen, that I've seen or that others have seen that I've had a look at, and I've bookmarked them to make sure that I use them or have a deeper look into them, as they're ones that I'd like to make sure I remember. So I have these here. I also have, this one is a long one. It's all the work that I've done through all the different modules. So this is really, really, really long, the posts and whatnot. And finally, reflections, including the reflections throughout the course in the different modules. Well, there we go. So that brings this to a close. I hope that you've enjoyed my e-portfolio. There's a lot to click in here, of course, but I certainly enjoyed myself doing this. So a big thank you to Pat Bland, our great instructor for this integration of technology in the classroom, part 2, and as well our colleagues who have shared so many wonderful projects and a lot of great feedback. So thank you all for this. Take care.